I grew up in Northeast Ohio, grew up in Aurora, have lived in this area my whole life. Family went to church every Sunday. I never really had a true understanding of what it meant to have a relationship with God from a young age. It took me a very long time to understand that. And I probably heard it a lot as I was young, but it just never stuck at that point.
So we went to church on and off. My grandma was, she woke up every morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and read her Bible, and she prayed. And anytime she prayed, everybody would cry. So that's where like the faith influence came from my life. So I would try to go to church, and then also be like drinking and involved with guys and making terrible decisions that weren't at all walking with Jesus. But I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
Actually, a lot of kind of critical fence posts is what I call them, because that was a CLC term. Just important things that happened in my life happened in my early to mid 20s, and one of those things is that my cousin, who was 6 months younger than me, was diagnosed and subsequently died from cancer right before he turned 22. And that was just prior to my first marriage. So a lot of people don't know that about me, that, I've been married and divorced, and, it's not something that I am proud of, but I'm amazed to see how God has used it. We got married right after I was out of college. Bought a house in 2007. That was a great idea. And then, had a dog, had the American dream. And then a year and a half into the marriage, she decided that she wanted to be young and single, is what she said. So had a bunch of issues that, still pop up from that. Just that feeling of abandonment and, concern for people not loving me, I guess.
I decided I didn't want to keep doing what I had been doing, which was unhealthy relationship after unhealthy relationship. And so I thought, I'm going to go to this young professionals group. So I went a couple times and went on their Facebook group and looked through all the boys. I looked through all the guys, and I decided that this one looked like a fireman. So October we started dating. By February I had moved in with him. By April we were engaged.
Yep. Yeah, so just the whole concept of, living together prior to marriage, and just working through some of those issues that we both had, and the baggage that came with my divorce, the baggage that came with some of your relationships. And yeah, it was a rocky time for sure.
So I remember telling the Reverend, we believe in God, but like we don't want our wedding to be like too churchy. Like we don't want like too much God in there. Yeah. We wanted the salvation of Jesus and like to have the get out of hell free card, but we didn't want him affecting our lives or being too churchy.
No. So we immediately started trying to have kids. And we discovered very quickly that there was an issue.
A year after we got married, and we're like getting into the thick of fertility treatments, and my doctor starts talking about hormone injections. And I'm like, I remember thinking, if this is what we're gonna have to do, like I'm gonna need to like have God there with me. Like I can't do this alone. I went to a women's movie night. My sister had invited me, and we watched a Charleston Heston movie about ants. It was so weird. The movie was super weird, but I was like, I think we should come here. So we went to church that Sunday and haven't stopped coming.
Yeah.
We were hooked from the very beginning, the message, and then it was a very short amount of time that I started going to women's Bible study and being in a community group.
It, like, almost immediately when we got there, my eyes were kind of open to the word. Like, I had a lot of head knowledge of the Bible, of God. Like, I knew the stories, I knew references in the Bible, I knew all this stuff, but that heart knowledge, that relationship wasn't there. Just hearing those messages and just having them sink in and really feeling that need for the relationship really grew my faith. It grew my relationship with God very quickly. I've had the honor of serving as a deacon. I've had the honor of serving as an elder, and just really growing and having people there who want to help you grow, who are trying to grow themselves, just pulling alongside you.
As we were growing in our faith, we grew in our family. Caitlin was born October 1st of 2016. Luke was born December of 2019.
Yeah, I think just being open and honest about the mess in our life, and we're still messy. Like, I don't feel like we're qualified for a redemption story. Like, it's just like, we're still messy, but God still loves us. God still uses us. God still puts us in situations where we can be a light for somebody else. So
He uses the mess.
Yeah, it's an unfinished redemption story. Let's put it that way. But it's been great to be able to be constantly fed the word through the preaching, through the music, through everything. It's just the gospel put in your face, and that's exactly where it needs to be all the time, to be a reminder that God was with us even in those dark moments, and He's with us at the top of the mountain, in the brightest moments.
Our life is completely different. We have a better relationship, a healthy relationship that I don't think would have happened otherwise.
Not perfect by any means, but yeah, it's definitely healthy in the way that we can, know that we're both serving the same God. We're both trying to walk the same path, and
our goal is the same: for our kids to grow up and love Jesus, and for our family to be a light for Him.
We are the Sharys,
and this is our redemption story.